Once upon a time, in the land of Arabia and in the heart of Mecca, a city where the streets were filled with the scent of oud and rosewater, and the sounds of prayers and supplications echoed in the warm air. A man named Sheikh lived there, who was preeminent in wisdom and mysticism. His days and nights were spent in the light of worship and knowledge, and his life, like a clear mirror, bore witness to the steadfastness of his soul and the purity of his intention. He was a man whose very presence was a school of faith and hope. For half a century, he was a steadfast pillar of faith and a compassionate guide for his disciples, who were proud to have such a humble and great master and learned from every moment spent with him. Until one night, under the serene light of the stars, a strange and unsettling dream came to him. In that dream, he saw himself in a foreign land with strange architecture and golden domes. The sound of bells rang in his ears, and incense was burning. Terrified, he saw himself involuntarily bowing, not towards the Kaaba, but towards the cross. He woke up with a scream, cold sweat beading on his forehead. He told his dream to his disciples, and dread rippled through all of their eyes. With trembling voices, the disciples whispered to themselves, this might be a warning from God, or perhaps a grim fate. But the Sheikh believed this dream was a test, or perhaps a hidden destiny, filled with a deep sense of unease and a need to uncover the truth. Sheikh Sanan and his followers began a long journey to the west. They passed through scorching deserts and endless seas, until they finally arrived at an ancient city in Rome. There, in the heart of the bustling and noisy bazaar, it seemed as if time had paused for a moment, and everything was enveloped in a strange silence. The Sheikh's gaze fell upon a beautiful maiden. Her face was as radiant as the rising sun, and her eyes were bright and calming, like the moonlight on clear nights. Never in his life had the Sheikh seen anything so beautiful. At that very moment, all the pillars of faith that the Sheikh had painstakingly and perseveringly erected over half a century crumbled. A powerful and unrestrained love engulfed his entire being, shattered his mind and heart, and turned him away from his certain and lifelong path. He shared the matter with his disciples. Upon hearing the Sheikh's words, a deep fear settled in their hearts, and they said, "O Sheikh, this dream is nothing but the deceit and temptation of Satan. Stay away from that girl, for there is a fear that you might lose the faith of many years." But the Sheikh, in the midst of this fiery love, only whispered, "My soul has never experienced such a fire. I am ready to abandon everything for her." And this moment was a testament to the boundless power of love over the human heart. A love that burns reason, challenges faith, and compels a person to cast aside all attachments and principles. Shortly after, disregarding his disciples' warnings, he went to the girl to confess his love. And with complete respect, he confessed his love for her. But she replied with merciless pride, "If you want my heart, you must abandon your path. You must burn the Quran, bow before my cross, drink wine, and tend to my pigs." In reality, she wanted to play with the Sheikh's soul and heart, and her sole intention was to torment and challenge Sanan's faith. Blinded by love, Sheikh Sanan fulfilled all of the girl's commands. He had neither the ability to think of the consequences nor the power to resist her will. Love had consumed his heart and mind, and he saw himself as merely a tool in the maiden's hands, drowning in a heat that arose not from faith, but from temptation and desire. His disciples, with tearful eyes, left him, because they could not bear to witness the fall of the man who had been the light of their path for so many years, and only one loyal disciple remained to pray for his salvation. The saint of Mecca was transformed into a stranger, mocked in the streets, and tended to pigs for a girl who only scorned him. His name, once revered, became a story of disgrace. People whispered, "The great Sheikh has fallen." With humility, the Sheikh endured the scorn and humiliation. His heart was a captive to his infatuation with the maiden. But the girl showed no sign of affection in her heart, nor spoke a word of love. All he received were commands, tests, and bitter silence. He had lost his God, but he had not won the girl's heart. After a period of patient waiting, one night, broken by sorrow, he had another dream. A luminous face and a voice full of mercy told him, "Do not despair. Although you have fallen, God's mercy is greater than your sin. Rise and return." The Sheikh awoke with tears, and the fire of repentance purified his being. He fell to the ground and cried out, "God, forgive me, I am nothing, but you are the sea of forgiveness." That dream and encounter shook his soul like a jolt, waking Sanan from his slumber of heedlessness. A new storm arose in his heart, a fire that this time came not from earthly love, but from an endless yearning for God. The flame that engulfed his being was more burning and glorious than any love he had ever tasted. He gave up his work for a while and headed for the mountains. In his solitude, he laid his head on the ground, continuously whispering, "My God, forgive me. I am nothing but a tiny particle of dust. Still, your mercy is endless, and my only hope is in your kindness." The maiden witnessed this transformation, and something stirred within her. She, too, then saw the same light in her dream, calling her toward the truth. She awoke, trembling, her eyes wet with tears, no longer the cruel girl she had once been. She went to see Sanan, but no longer with scorn, but with humility. She cried before him and spoke of the inner feeling she had after the dream she had seen. Through Sanan's love, she had now reached a greater love, and was ready to surrender herself to the boundless sea of divine love, a love before which all earthly loves were but fleeting shadows. Then they both returned to Mecca, but no longer as a detached saint and a trapped temptress, nor as a defeated master and a lost man. Instead, they were two souls polished and purified in the fire of divine love. Two hearts that had become one in the eternal light of the beloved. And so, their story spread like wildfire. People said, even the most sacred individuals can falter. And even the greatest fall can illuminate the path to forgiveness. And love, whether it manifests through the beauty of a person or directly from the pure essence of God, is always a fire that burns, builds, and transforms, until nothing remains but pure, unadulterated truth.